All right, here we are on part 2 of Tuesday, April 2nd, market recap. I was in the middle of saying, usually I agree with Charlie Mack over here at Nomura, and he's saying that, he's expecting a collapse of vol because of the central bank money printing. I usually agree with him, but I'm going to disagree with him here because of its reportings weeks for the next couple weeks, and he's right in that they're going to be suppressing vol with all their damn money printing. Again, the biggest liquidity injector, if you will, is probably going to be China. After that, it's going to be the U.S. PPT, which is just another socialist version of that Chinese national team. And you also, of course, got the ECB. I don't think they intervene as much as those two, though. U.S. PPT, which is our version of China's national team. So yeah, you're gonna have that suppression, but then, once it's earnings weeks, at least in equities at least, you're gonna see the spikes in vol when you see a bunch of these happening because of the economic slowdown. You're gonna see a bunch of earnings misses, and put this up yesterday too. Caterpillar laid off, I think it wasn't due to manufacturing, but they just laid off another, 118 people. I guess they're janitors, but still. And they're pretty good bellwether. But, yeah. And other news, Mexican avocado prices explode by most in a decade because we should shut down the border with them. So I hope you're stocking up on those Mexican avocados. Looks like the California farmers are going to be pretty fucking happy. But I don't think they've started harvesting yet. Actually, I'm not familiar with the avocados at all. So it's not something that's traded here in Chicago. So. But, yeah, you can always buy it elsewhere. There's plenty of shitholes with avocados. And it looks like WTI, or West Texas Intermediate, went down a little bit. Those cutbacks had been pretty effective. Look here. Again. Just another reason to invade Venezuela. And here we go. And this is what I was talking about, too. There's probably something useful in here. Oh, yeah, I've just been going over this. Yeah, you're going to be seeing a lot of misses because you're in an economic slowdown. And it looks like the Fed's seeing it, too. Because they're basically moving into QE infinity. Yeah, they're trying to say it's not exactly QE 1, 2, and 3, but it'll have the same effects. There's no end to QE. QE started in Japan. What, almost 20 years ago? Was it more than? No, about 20 years ago. And it never ended. And it's never going to end here, too. Because, why? Because of this. Powell simply caved to Wall Street pressure. That's it. What they should have done, they should have kept hiking. The rate hikes in QT were hitting asset prices and liquidity. But they should. You should be hitting asset prices and liquidity. You have asset bubbles in equities. You have asset bubbles in real estate. And then you have tremendous credit problems caused by that. Cheap money. But I guess he heard too many people crying about, their bubble imploding, and Looks like they need to keep trying to reinflate it. And kill your dollar at the same time. So, let's see here. Yeah, so you have the global economic slowdown. They don't really have a choice. And they did invert the yield curve, which is still inverted, even though it flattened, I think. Because, again, it's not a recession forecasting tool. It's a lagging indicator. You never recovered from 2008 and 2009. I guess 2007, 2008. Just because you got fudged numbers, just like you got the Chinese national team in the form of PPT, you get Chinese fudged numbers too. It does not mean these companies are going to be profitable. You can print all the money you want, you can intervene in the markets all you want, they're still never going to be profitable. And I guarantee you there's still some accounting shenanigans there too. It's probably worse than it looks, or worse than they present it, I mean. See? And here you go. Oh yeah, I guess I forgot to mention those two. So you got the Swiss National Bank that contributes to it too. They just keep buying equities. Same thing with Norges Bank. But it's still not to the extent of manipulation like US PPT or the Chinese national team. Of course, you got the clowns in Japan. They basically bought everything in their markets, so they no longer have a market. And let's see. I haven't seen that much with the Bank of England. All right, and we're back to the broadcast. So again, you have central bank shenanigans driving equity prices right there. S&B likes to buy equities. Bank of England, I don't know so much. I think they're more on more of their debt over there. Federal Reserve, all sorts of shenanigans. Gold market manipulation, equities market in the PPT, and of course the QE shenanigans. And you have the Bank of Japan again, who just bought up all their markets, so they no longer have one. ECB with the TLTRO, probably make a video on that. And then the Chinese and Chinese national team. So yeah, they're gonna print money. But printing money does not fix your economy. And like we were saying, you get that. It doesn't make companies profitable. Oh, and you have people trying to speculate now. What's going to be the first domino to fall? And they're mentioning that Australia has a housing boom and bubble. But so does everywhere else on Earth, really. You have one in Vancouver, Toronto. You have them here all over the U.S. You have it in London, too, that you see deflating. All of those are deflating because of the credit exhaustion. And then on top of that, I heard somebody speculating that Turkey might be might cause some stuff. And if I were Erdogan, I'd tell him to do it. You know what? Tell these people, fuck your debt. Fuck your debt. And then have the people, holding the bag on it default. But that might actually be some banks in the Eurozone, so probably shouldn't do that. But some people are speculating that was going to cause, I think it was some of the pigs banks that are holding the Turkey debt to finally be their tipping point because they're in trouble already. But here you have people speculating, where's it going to be? Real estate, whatever. My money's on credit, just anywhere. Corporate credit that people can't service anymore. Especially because you have this. Printing money does not make companies profitable. Just doesn't. does not, never will. When they're not profitable, they can't service their debt. But which one's going to be the first to go? Who knows? But the point being, they're all teetering on falling like that domino. And here again, another indicator there, FedEx showing that, hey, shipments weakened because the economy's weakened. And that despite a strong U.S. economy, again, it's fudge numbers. Oh, and another thing to slow down your economy, energy, which is going to keep shooting up into the summer. But you might get lucky, and they might invade Venezuela. Oh, and even better, they push the sanctions on the Israel and take away the sanctions of the U.S. They can just start trading with Russia again. Get themselves a nice bit of oil. So that's the end of that article. But let's finish what Charlie Mackett has to say. Yeah, and this is probably it. You got a bunch of excess money printed. It's not liquidity, it's money printed. Wealth effect, my ass. It didn't make anybody wealthier. Well, it made a few people wealthier. Everybody else, they're actually fucked. Now, yeah, so you had a bunch of money. Might have just been people saying, hey, I got a bunch of money I can borrow now. You know what? I'm going to buy up some Bitcoin. Or whatever else. Ethereum, Litecoin, etc. Right. So there's that for the hedge fund over there. The hedge fund article, I mean. And is that for that one? That one. And this is the end of the market recap. How quickly will the jaws snap shut? Well, put it this way. Pretty sure your crisis is coming sooner than you think. And that's going to be it for now. Don't forget to donate. Bitcoin wallet will be there in the summary. Probably try to avoid the PayPal there, but we do take the PayPal. And remember, your donations are your investments in heaven. And it will reap you dividends in your salvation. And this is not to be construed as investment advice. Clearly, we just want your damn money.